first day of matches for which all three have been pretty fun to watch, exciting in their own way, and could be another close one like we had to start the day between Gothic and Feinberg.
All right,
and kicking it off as every matchup is this week with Red Deck White Stake. Let me refresh the cache here. I think I've got an outdated overlay. There we go.
Yeah, I think they were talking about something because I don't want to curse them playing, God forbid, 4 hours, but these two do play methodical, and the fact that they even looked at those skips, I'm really hoping they were just conversing about random things because there was nothing to skip for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about that during the mouth match, that generally speaking, skips aren't super valuable in PvP, but especially early, aside from maybe an investment tag or a rare skip, foil raised fist is really, really good.
Incredible.
That's like a solo carry early, right? It does chips and molt. That can leave you open to some of those utility jokers that we saw Doc fully utilize in the previous matchup. So even without the upside of Cavendish, I really like the raised fist play here, just because you really don't need anything else for scoring for quite a while as a result of this, and you can save money, or you can use that money that you're saving to find the deck fixing that you're looking for to bridge into something strong.
I need to make a small update with the overlay.
Not much going in this next shop. I do like the idea of just kind of letting the money flow. Bear, though, going to grab a standard pack and get a blue seal.
I think that's pretty nice, and we can shrink that to a king.
I think that's why we picked up the strength. Also gives you a good death target. Critically plays nicely with the raised fist for, just spamming high card early. And raised fist, maybe not the strongest joker on its own, but does give you an opportunity to maybe bridge into that high card Baron build. And we see Sizaak taking the time to make sure that card is drawn, has the same resources as Bear, but the patience allows better utilization of those resources. You can get the strength, you can get the death on it, and get some potential extra value off of this this blue seal.
Absolutely. And one note there is Bear, unlike Bear, rushing a little bit in the small blind and actually played a high card and had to play an extra hand. That dollar didn't seem to matter too much. It could have, but I think Bear lucked out. But here again, it feels like Bear, maybe I hyped him up, making very few mistakes, playing a little quickly. And interesting that Sizaak's going to go for 3 of a kind level.
Yeah, that's surprising as well. But 3 of a kind is an important breakpoint, because duo is a fine joker. Trio is really, PvP relevant, you can say.
Yeah.
So, that breakpoint between pairs, which you want for just clearing gold stake, and 3 of a kind, which you're going to prefer for a PvP type round, is an important one to consider, and probably something that Sizaak, having played a lot of multiplayer, will know about. Already making a commitment to early diamonds, because those that gold blue seal is a diamond, so really getting some strong deck fixing early that can
I think that's a interesting point you brought up with the trio. I personally just maybe would have expected, just for the high card levels, get to like level 5 or 6 high card, just in case it is a high card seed, because you have that luxury with the foil raised fist. But I could see multiple 3 of a kinds on red deck being the angle for the early PvP win. So
There is also the consideration that you know, before you get those Pluto value or those Pluto hits, you're probably not clearing in one hand just yet. So
True.
you know, and this isn't ranked, or this isn't standard multiplayer rules for Balatro. So you know, not every seed defaults to a high card seed. You get a lot of benefit from playing towards the re-trigger game plan.
Mm-hmm.
We see
The
Sizaak here
glass.
being really patient, giving himself the opportunity to hit a Wraith here. Doesn't hit, but that Wraith has the potential to be a difference maker. And it looks, based on the money, it looks like Bear made the same line.
Yes, and interesting. Bear went familiar. I think that's the right play. The familiar is going to give like 3 diamond cards. So if Sizaak familiars here, they're going to be very much treated to gold and chariot and a glass. 2 diamond cards, excuse me. So already Sizaak's deck's in a beautiful spot. Not that Bear's too far off, but hasn't made use of the death.
Yeah, that's a long time to be holding the death. But you know, that's the advantage of you know, Sizaak taking the time to make sure that it gets expended in that first opportunity.
I really like this play from Bear. So Bear was deciding whether to do Arcana, Jumbo, or take the coupon tag, the clearance sale. I call it coupon tag. That's a separate thing. Clearance sale. I feel like Bear realizes they maybe fumbled a couple things early here and that they're going to be a little behind. And that they need to grab this voucher to kind of keep pace long term and have that long term benefit of cheaper things in the shop. I can't say that for sure, but it does feel that route where if you felt like you could win this PvP, maybe you could go tempo, go Arcana pack. But I do like the decision there to take the good voucher and move on. And there's a Pluto level. Maybe Sizaak's just prepping himself for everything, which is definitely not a bad line.
I mean, building towards kings, well, maybe not necessarily the preferred method for setting up like a face card retrigger, because jacks are a little bit easier to build towards. Building towards kings does give you a little bit more flexibility to go for that retrigger face card, or to make it a high card seed and just brute force the Baron. So there's trade-offs involved with that, right? It's more efficient maybe to get the retrigger, but you're more flexible in the position where Sizaak is with you know, all of those, not only just kings, but a lot of diamond kings, to be honest with you. Like making good use of that. This Mary Andrew is quite interesting with the rebates.
Yeah, I was gonna
go for it.
Very rewarded taking the pack, though. Sizaak, as we've seen, 49 spent to Bear's 36. It's just gotten more money. Got that mail-in rebate around earlier, I believe. And
got the mail-in rebate earlier. Also, death to gold card in that first boss blind. That's $6 extra, and then that's not only the interest compounding on that, but also you know, just drawing them more frequently as a result of having those kings, you know, more of those kings in the deck. It's a really strong start from Sizaak right now.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, the Mary Andy feels like it's going to snowball with that rebate.
What's distracting you?
Yeah, a combination of the Mary Andy and the you know, being able to open that Arcana pack gives, again, just a huge advantage at present.
Bear, you know, I am curious though, because I do think, without any doubt, the right play is what Sizaak did, was able to get that gold card, death that gold card. Bear is going to be able to go up on glass here if they decide to death this glass queen.
Yeah, and I think it's an easy decision to death the glass king. I think what maybe will give Bear a bit of pause is, do I spend any of this glass right now?
Yeah.
You know, not much scoring benefit from playing 4 of a kind other than those glass cards, other than that raised fist. It's kind of a tough spot, but does have quite a lot of Queen of Clubs. So we're seeing, it looks like a King of Diamonds versus Queen of Clubs type setup, with maybe Sizaak having a little bit more scoring tech on top of just, there's that Mary Andrew getting some more mail-in rebate value that's really, really big at any stage in the run, but especially early, because of that compounding effect of the early money.
Bear is gonna play it. Does have one break. I wasn't expecting Bear to go aggressive in this round with the decision to go with the voucher beforehand, but maybe the draws, they felt good about it. Sizaak now. Ooh.
I mean, even finding another queen is unlikely to get there, right? Because that was double glass from Bear.
They would have won. But it's interesting. I think Sizaak really sees the value in keeping that gold card, but they did have a steal, the king steal, that they could have maybe fished for, with to go alongside the raised fist. But
yeah,
right away,
could have been.
Go ahead.
Could have been enough with the steal, but
yeah. Bloodstone. Everybody in chat going ugh simultaneously. I love it. I think it's fun.
And both players probably having a similar response as well too, because they've built towards other suits. So that's it's probably a joker you can't pass on, but then have to maybe make a quick adjustment. The money difference, which is in Sizaak's favor, is going to, be to his advantage in like fixing back towards hearts now. Sigil in the in the spectral pack, that could be an interesting play with no face cards available to Bear right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I guess, why not? I mean,
the downside is if that's if there's a polychrome in the aura.
Yeah, that'd be pretty brutal. I do think they should have very similar spectral pools here, in that I don't think Sizaak's really gonna have a target for that aura either.
Right. The deaths have been different, which could change some things.
He got hearts. And we're gonna see the difference here. Oh,
yeah.
It's just foil.
Okay, I'm a bit behind. Let me refresh the streams real quick.
Oh, sorry. Interesting play here for Bear. He's going to get the flush level. He's only going to get one. Again, because there's only one blue seal. Sizaak's the one with two. But Sizaak's not really going to be able to get flush levels with this Mary Andy. It's possible, but it's going to be really hard to get like a 5-card hand while holding on to these.
And there's just the fact that Sizaak is carrying the Bloodstone right now, right? There's no benefit to having a Bloodstone at the moment. Other than, potential future value.
Arcana pack with a death for Bear, but nothing really to target, so just going to Hermit instead. I think that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Another death. This time a gold queen, maybe. Couple Plutos.
I mean, it's not your glass, but...
Yeah, it's money.
It would be a real easy decision if it were a heart, but...
Absolutely.
But I do like the idea of just making more gold cards and, potentially setting up for that golden ticket later in the run.
Every time, I mean, golden ticket being a common joker, you see it so often. Every time you're like, oh man, I should just death that gold card earlier, just pick the devil earlier. but hindsight's always 2020. Bear is gonna indeed that the gold card. The other option there is Emperor and hoping maybe there's a Sun in there, a Lovers, Justice, Hermit. There still is plenty of good pulls in the Emperor, but don't hate the death.
Yeah, and it just doesn't feel great to gamble. If you've got a sure thing on a death, I like pulling the trigger on that as well. Even if it's not perfect value, it's like probably better value than you can expect out of just a couple random Taros.
Exactly. Sizaak now with a dilemma. This is a very common play for ranked multiplayer players. I think you see it a lot less in Major League Balatro just because it's so hard to pull off, and that is the Seance angle, where Seance is a way to generate actually multiple spectrals per round. The thing is, it is very costly because if you're trying to play a straight flush, that is like the only thing you can focus on.
Right.
So,
and there's also the issue of, well, what do you give up to get it? And he's looking at the Mary Andrew, but the Mary Andrew is the enabler here for the Seance. But the Drunkard, you know, it does a Mary Andrew impression, maybe gives you that extra buffer in your hand so that you can get some blue seal value while still getting potentially the straight flush for the Seance, while still getting you know, some mail-in rebate value. But yeah, this Spectral could be an important resource that one player in Sizaak sees that the Bear doesn't.
Great job by Sizaak there, I do want to say, rolling down to find a good tarot to bring into this Arcana pack, and now could potentially glass the Queen and Death it, though it feels bad to get rid of a gold. Oh, curious to see where he goes.
It is early, but you are down a life.
It's just going to death the gold.
Yeah.
That star card is going to be...
card, yeah, it could be the difference in getting that that Seance to get value here. Already has a good shot at a straight flush draw with the King 10 and Jack.
Bear just finishing up their shopping, did grab the blank voucher when it was all said and done. Also found the photograph in a pack. It's between that and Four Fingers. Not really. Four Fingers, if actually, yeah, if Sizaak sees that may be...
I know what you're looking at, but I think it's hard to pass up on a photograph in...
There's no way, right?
Right. And here's the straight flush.
All right, that's one.
That's it. Let's see what we get out of this Seance. Not going to be great score because of the raised fist not hitting a whole lot and Bloodstone just kind of watching.
Maybe Sizaak even prefers that to allow him to get more twos to discard, find the gold cards type thing.
Exactly. I think it's important getting to use the glass as well. Talisman is an important resource. We know that there's a photo in the shop coming up soon. You want to pair that with a Hanging Chad anyway, and gold seals go great with Hanging Chad, so it's a pretty big deal.
Exactly, and again, we're going to talk about this a lot just because Vagabond, Sizaak being really come from this multiplayer community where they play slightly different games, slightly different rule set. Their Chad is nerfed that it retriggers the first two cards once instead of just the first card twice. In Vanilla Balatro, in Major League Balatro rule set that we have, gold seals with Chad are insane. They're arguably overpowered. That's why they changed it in the other rule set, because that is $9 every time you see it if you can find a Chad. So that's actually a very good spectral hit for your first spectral.
Yes. And again, we're already seeing a huge money difference.
175 to 88. Wow.
Yeah. Well, again, that's largely just the difference in the start of the run that has
yes,
built up over the course of these first few antes. There's also the life loss buff that Sizaak got for that first PvP, but you know, that's if that continues to grow, that's going to become a bigger and bigger problem for Bear over the course of the run, regardless of what the life total is now.
Yeah, and it was 11 rerolls to 3 that ante. I mean, that is again just 16 pieces of the shop, jokers, tarots, planet cards that Sizaak was able to see that Bear didn't. And honestly, lucky for Bear, Sizaak really didn't roll into anything that devastating with that much of a money lead.
I think the most important joker found this ante was maybe the Bloodstone, which is to Bear's benefit, and that photograph that both players saw because it was in the pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's... Again, there's always there's RNG involved. When we say something's lucky, it doesn't mean anyone... it doesn't mean anything about skill level. I think Bear got a little lucky with that ante being very kind. Despite the econ difference. Also, the Mary Andy. I mean, like you said, the start, enabling the Mary Andy just gave so much value with that mail-in rebate.
Yeah, one thing that I will say that was pretty unlucky for Bear was the specific cards in hand when the sigil hit.
There
were not a lot of the face cards that, in particular, the queens that he's building towards. So, just kind of his best hand still, just like for Sizaak, the Bloodstones in the husband chair. It just kind of watching everyone else have a good time.
Oh, man. Yeah. This hand's going to score almost exactly the same as last time because instead of 2 glass, we have photo in 1 glass. We do have level 2, but it's not going to be a big score for Bear. And forced to play it right away.
Yeah, it does put up a good score, but it's going to give Sizaak some information that maybe not necessary. It doesn't want to risk the glass just yet. Doesn't necessarily say a lot about the hand, though. Sizaak could perceive maybe a Bloodstone.
Minor thing there, but if Sizaak loses by a very small amount here, Sizaak forgot to put the 7 in front of the chariot, which was minus... 7 mult. It's not the end all be all, but it's a small mistake you don't see very often from him.
Yeah. Otherwise, very clean play here from both players. I do like Bear holding back, forcing Sizaak to have the hand before, committing any resources here, and really the resource being hands and discards. Like, you need to know if you need to fish for a better hand than you currently have.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, no way to get the steal value on the raised fist this time because it's always going to be the king.
And that, I don't think that'll be enough unless this Bloodstone is awful. One thing to note here, we haven't even talked about, level 4 flush for Bear. So has been gaining the blue seal value, also picking up some packs. Definitely going to be a big benefit.
Yeah, we did say, Mary Andy difference for Sizaak and the money, but the Mary Andy difference for Bear is having those blue seal hits. That was something that was not available to Sizaak just because of the reduced hand size and because of, digging through the deck to find not only the hand, but also the rebate value.
I think that was 4 out of 5 on the Bloodstone, so.
I mean, even Bloodstone can handle that modest amount of scoring.
The Bull. I can't imagine that is a thing that we would actually want, but
no, you're already getting 50 chips from the foil.
Foil, yeah.
So there's you want to stay around $25, so you're only going to get. It's basically a Sly Joker, right? But or just a foil Joker, but you already have that in the form. And Bear in particular, with the flush levels, does not need the Bull because chips are in abundance.
Oh, this is a tough choice. We have a standard pack here. Yeah, you got a lucky Queen of Heart and its gold seal, but then there's Polychrome.
I know.
Oh,
man. I don't know how you make a decision here.
I think it feels a 7. Oh, wait. They get.
Oh, you get 2. Yeah, you get 2. So you just take them both.
I guess the only way to mess that one up was a misclick.
Well, I was watching through OBS, so the choose 2 was covered for me.
For no, same as well.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be such an interesting decision. With it being an 8, it's close enough to a face card that I think it makes it very tough. And then it's like, oh well, porque no los dos.
I think Sizaak again digging for potentially some seance value. This is really fun to watch. Just needs another club in that 3 to 7 range,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll have it.
Very unfortunate. Well, I guess it's not very. This is why straight flushes are so hard. Even when you have a tarot like this, it's very specific cards you got to find.
Well, that's why the reward is so big as well.
Mm-hmm.
Does not want to have to change the diamonds into clubs, I imagine, but also just kind of wants to change more things into hearts. There it is.
There it is.
More seance value, and not really any risk of clearing the blinds just because that raised fist, again, hard carrying the score.
I was going to say, this raised fist definitely enables Sizaak to be as aggressive as they want with the stance. Unfortunately, a trance there is really the last thing, besides maybe like an incantation you want to see. The chat, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's early. Both players are going to see it. That is going to reward the gold seal pickups.
Wow. And a red seal in this spectral pack for Bear and for Sizaak.
Yeah, not the best options available, but there is a queen there. The queen of clubs was the early play, but really wanting to shift towards hearts.
Surely we find the sun at some point, Raffle, right?
I mean, it would never happen that a sun or a single tarot card just completely disappears from the game, right? I think Sizaak looking to set up for a Wraith again, potentially. Maybe not. Maybe just doing some rolling.
I think that Sizaak definitely rolled down, so it felt less bad if a Wraith were to come through. I think this is something very typical of some of the ranked multiplayer players, especially you see Sizaak, you'll see Vagabond do it quite a bit of. They're very much don't want to just lose money because you feel that you have to take every Wraith because that Wraith could be the thing that just wins your opponent the game if you didn't take it.
Right, and that play feels quite a bit better as well when you have that rebate available to you to make up some of the ground if you do end up forcing yourself to 0.
Exactly. I think something you'll see a lot on white stake. You'll see quite a bit less of that on higher stakes where it's like, no, I'm not spending my money just in case of a Wraith. Natural straight flush for Bear, but almost doesn't want to play it because wants the normal flush level. And there you go.
Right. And has to really play weird for the sake of the raised fist as well, which honestly not doing a whole lot anymore at this stage for Bear, just because the way the timing of it isn't terrible, but like is after a lot of the multiplication already happens.
I think if you're Bear here, I think Cartomancer and Egg are both better than raised fist for you at this point. But we'll see. That red seal also probably feels a little bad for Sizaak, where you've been doing all this work with Seance, and then you're just gifted the one of the crucial tarot or spectrals in the back.
Okay, going for more of those 3 of a kind levels. Honestly, 3 of a kind is a terrifying hand for Sizaak right now, but maybe not necessarily the one you want to be dumping levels in. But with that photograph. Bigger start means more doublings or bigger doublings.
Mm-hmm. So it is going to be Cartomancer. So I think Cartomancer might be gone.
Yeah, that was a
that was quick.
Short-lived Cartomancer. I do think with $44 is a good chance that Sizaak sees that as well.
Yeah, there's no way Sizaak doesn't roll here.
Somehow behind on shops and money this round. Did Bear maybe make use of the gold seal?
More of the gold seals, and I think just generally more mail and rebate value, while Sizaak kind of tried to do the straight flushes, where it did mess a little bit with the discards.
And we're now at Joker parity between players. Both taking the same pause on this Vagabond, trying to figure out, is it worth giving up the rebate? I think
this is going to be... Go ahead.
Oh, that's a huge
Yeah.
divergence here. I would be inclined to take it because of the gold seals, because of the need for those sun cards to make that bloodstone happen. I'm surprised that it's that the reverse isn't happening. Maybe Sizaak feeling like he needs to keep that money around for the future, whereas Bear saying go all in on getting that vagabond value. So this is the exact inverse of what I would have expected, but I do like that we're seeing both plays because I think there's a great argument for both of them.
I think maybe the thought process there for Sizaak is this is my way to get the Sun and Justice card I can get to stay alive, versus Bear is kind of thinking if I'm up 4-2 in lives. If I can just see more things than my opponent, I can roll into that idol. I can roll into the sock where it's just over despite Justice and Sun cards being made for Vagabond, or for Sizaak with Vagabond. Man, Vagabond, why did you name yourself after a Joker? Anyway.
Yeah, we got to put an end to people doing that, right?
Bean. Vagabond. I mean, I guess that's really the two in Major League Balatro, but. A Justice and an Emperor instantly, so.
Wow.
Feels pretty nice.
Yeah.
And the red seal.
Ooh. Yeah, the red seal. Not yet.
Not yet in hand, but.
No, but available. And definitely worth digging for.
So one awkward part about Brainstorm and Vagabond is like when you do get a good tarot and you have a target for it, it's like, oh, I can't play a hand anymore.
Yeah, I was I felt this pain many times that like if you're looking for one specific card, it can force you to lose value in the Vagabond. Like because both that Justice needs to hit a specific card, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't even open up and just play to get one tarot card because that Emperor wants to get full value as well. And so you need open slots for the Emperor. It's just, it's very frustrating.
Yeah, and I think Vagabond, or I keep calling Vagabond now. I think Sizaak may just throw a 3 of a kind out now.
I mean, with the amount of levels that have been generated, it's at least worth a consideration. You could also, oh geez, copy for score. Oh, no money to sell anything here.
No.
So it just has to spend.
Got the Justice back, so.
Oh no. Yeah, but so maybe you save one of the Justices and copy for score since you're going to play a glass card here, it looks like. Or just trust in that Vagabond and know that you're going to get some more glass in the future.
Yeah, I'm actually with you, Rolf, on that. I think I keep the one Justice, but
right.
also
especially
2 lives.
Especially if you're sending this hand, copying the photo anyway.
Mm-hmm. So it's like doing the math in their head. The Chad, I do believe, is the better copy in this instance.
Because of the Bloodstone being there, that does
Bloodstone
help.
went insane.
I still no red seal. That steel could have gone on the red seal, and I think Sizaak would have been happy too, but just
anything.
Cannot find it.
I think Bear is looking at the score now and is a little like, what? Just happened.
I mean, some of that is the direct result of all of those blue seals on 3 of a kind.
Yeah.
Sizaak knowing where his point scoring is coming from and doing a good job of leveraging those early levels.
I also think Bear got a pretty unfortunate Bloodstone run out on the flush they played. Which, like, their score obviously would have been nowhere close, but when you have Brainstorm copying a Bloodstone and a Chad, and I think they got like 3 total hits or 4 total hits, it really suppresses the score.
Yeah. I mean, That's the frustration of that Bloodstone without an oops all sixes.
And then the frustration with oops is all my glass is gonna break. It's one of the very interesting games I love about Major League Balatro rule set.
Agreed. Okay, so we're gonna see another big hand from Bear here. Sizaak taking a pause to determine, do I need to go for score, or do I need to, work on this Vagabond a little bit more?
And I think that
probably going to feel a bit of relief with that. The problem is, if you don't send a hand quickly, you're not going to get that Vagabond value anyway, right?
Yep.
Because if Bear just pushes through this last hand, Sizaak's not going to be able to get those last 2 tarots. Maybe just 1 tarot, because you probably want to hang on to the Fool. Fool is probably better on average than your typical tarot card. But also, down 2 lives, you kind of have to wait and see if you need this glass card. You don't know if Bear has a Dusk or is just, trying to milk some Vagabond value as well. So you have to be patient, but it's unfortunate because of the loss of value.
It is luckily only 1 hand, and like you said, I think it only would end up being 1 tarot, so I think Sizaak feeling comfortable. Unfortunate that red seal was just so far down. Never was able to put anything on it.
I think from Bear here, there's no way that this clears, so...
Yeah, I would just put on the Chad. Yeah,
getting a chance to get some more money off of off that gold seal will be important. And also, we're starting to see a bit of the gap closing for Bear on that money, which is very important. And this is going to help close that gap.
Hit.
And it's going to... And on top of that, Sizaak rocking with the Vagabond, that's going to give Bear that spending money in the shop that could pick up a Joker that Sizaak just isn't able to see.
Yeah, and due to the fact that all shops are anti-based in Major League Balatro, that large economic lead that Sizaak had earlier does not matter going forward. So now that Bear is $90 and they re-roll more in the shop, it's not like, oh, Sizaak's already ahead. They start from the same exact place each and every time, which makes Vagabond a little bit more difficult to play around.
Yeah, has the potential to be punishing in a way that maybe Sizaak isn't used to or as used to, just because, you can gain that ground anyway with some of the resources that you get off of the Vagabond to help accumulate money later. Well, if later doesn't have the Joker that now has, then it doesn't matter.
There is a mime, which actually, there's not really a place to put it. It's kind of would be good for Sizaak to be able to get a lot of value out of gold cards at the end of the Vagabond usage, but I don't know if Sizaak's going to see it this ante.
Yeah, it could be interesting, especially because of the brainstorm available for the hot swap copy. The concern is that you have to then probably part ways with the Bloodstone, which, being down a Bloodstone, as maybe annoying of a Joker as it is still not a good place to be.
Not at all. Not on 2 lives, and not without any money to go find a replacement, or again, limited money that mine would be giving you. So Bear playing this rather conservatively, a little interesting in this blind.
Oh, now the red seal shows up.
For both players, it was pretty funny. It's going to be Wild for Bear, and it's going to be a Chariot for Vagabond. Or for Sizaak. Oh my gosh. For Sizaak with Vagabond.
There we go.
And this is one of the examples where, we've said this many times. I've said this many times. I don't think timer, it really should be a strategy in multiplayer. I don't really want the game to revolve around this. But when you have one player playing Vagabond, especially Vagabond Brainstorm, you cannot play that fast. And so I do think the
Right.
timer is going to end up being a factor this ante for Sizaak.
I mean, it already, despite, Bears, as you mentioned earlier, typically methodical play, it already has, been Sizaak getting timered throughout this run, even before the Vagabond. So it's only gonna make that more likely.
Yeah. There was quite a few wagers between the multiplayer community that knows Sizaak tends to play methodically and the Major League Balatro community that watches Bear play methodically, being like, who's going to timer who this game? And a golden ticket has entered the chats.
Yeah, but a sun for Sizaak on 3 kings, including the red seal. That's a big deal. But yes, that golden ticket could be... There's no space for it, though. That could have been a decent entry point back into the land of Econ for Sizaak, but we'll have to part ways with the Vagabond in order to make use of it, I think.
Oh, death for the red seal. This is where it starts really helping.
Okay, and Sizaak doesn't know, but with that golden ticket coming up, making that a gold red seal king could be just massive. That's a tough call to make, though, because steel is already a very good enhancement on a red seal, and you don't have the golden ticket just yet.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised with the decision there. I am surprised we don't unlock Flush 5 here over the 1-3 of a kind level. I know it's been good to us, but it's very clear Flush 5 is moments away from happening long term. But I guess playing that gold hurts with $3 in the bank.
Yeah, and you don't get the blue seal value off of it either. So there's oh, the 23 finally hit. That was I think another
huge.
sun.
And another sun.
Catch up. Yeah, so I think very likely that Sizaak sees the golden ticket now, right?
Yeah, and it could be the perfect pivot point for him.
We'll want to watch that money, and considering the certificate may be in favor of the Vagabond, but does roll past it. There's the mime. I think it's maybe 1 or 2 rolls beyond that.
Let's see. If Bear was at 12, I think it's probably at reroll 10. So actually, I don't know. I have to assume because there's still one more shop to go for Sizaak. They will see it eventually in this game.
Well, and I mean, if you have the Vagabond, you have to roll to keep it online anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with this Temperance, that's going to be at least another roll. One more. You should still be able to afford it, just because the Vagabond has some decent sell value. And there it is. And here's the tough decision. You would have liked to have seen it either earlier or in the next shop so that you could get some more Vagabond value. This is maybe the worst possible time with the way that his money lined up to see this.
I held my breath because once you said they have to roll down for Vagabond, I was like, oh, yes, because I was going to make a comment that's like, this could be perfect. We could get one more thing of Vagabond value, and then you're going to get a golden ticket next round. That's incredible, but awkward. Very awkward now.
Yeah. And I don't... Is it possible that you've just gotten enough Sun cards to say this golden ticket is coming with me? Like, did Vagabond do its job already?
I'm surprised. I think Sizaak's very much valuing the glass cards that they still kind of need on the red seals with the whole Bloodstone play. However, with Vanilla Chad, again, you're seeing $127 for Bear, and that's didn't even draw 2 of the gold cards. Like
the other thing to consider, though, is that the common jokers are common, right? So
yeah, that's true.
Passing up on a Vagabond is a little bit different than passing up on a on a golden ticket, because one of those is much more likely to come back around. Now it's harder to find it because you don't have the money from the golden ticket, and also Bear now has a dusk available as a result of that extra money that you were talking about.
And now Bear's deciding, is this enough though, or do I sell something like the photo, or heck, even the bloodstone for the dusk while we look for idol or ancient? It's a tough choice.
Yeah, and really good tarots coming off of this vagabond again for Sizaak. Saving those queens just in case a strength shows up. A strength does show up, gets immediate value from that. Has a high density of these reds, or not red seals, but just King of Hearts in general.
I think Bear may make that play.
It's kind of an awkward point in terms of lives, in terms of like clear idea of what you should do, right? Like, it's just, you know, Sizaak is just low enough that it's like, well, maybe this dusk buries him, but is at the halfway point, so it's like, well, maybe I need to farm up this money to extend my lead. I don't like, I sincerely don't know.
No,
jeez,
it's a great
some more good
vagabond.
tarots from this vagabond. Having a tough time deciding what to death here.
Yeah, I really think, like, Bear doesn't know this, but I think Sizaak takes this PvP no matter what. It would probably be in Bear's best interest to sell Scoring Joker. Is not going to, because there's no way for them to know.
Right.
But well, they are gonna have two glass here with the Fool and the Justice. And yeah, I don't believe Sizaak gets anywhere close to that dusk. We're at 22 rerolls. Sizaak 11.
Another glass, and with those so many red seals. That's a big deal. Might not see the dusk though, which long term could be a big deal. It has to be in this next roll. It is not. Yeah, and I like this continued commitment to maybe just letting the vagabond do its thing. You've got one more life. If you like, you can greed a little bit longer. It's put in good work already. Why not continue that?
No, and
Bear
it's
has over.
Oh, go ahead.
Bear has overtaken Sizaak in money spent as a result of that golden ticket, but probably not going to be able to extend that too much further beyond now that the golden ticket's gone.
Exactly, and that's where it's scary, and that's why I feel like maybe dusk over bloodstone, dusk over photo. The thing is, this decision to go vagabond for Sizaak, it acted like a dusk, right? Because we have 5 red, or we're gonna end up with 5 red seals relatively quickly. And again, I think the crucial piece of information here is, like, Bear doesn't know what Sizaak's doing quite yet. So
true. And oh my god, I thought Sizaak was gonna have that red seal buried again, but does just find it. Now has great death targets, gets full value off of this vagabond until it's go time. Okay, whiffs on the tarots here. Does still at least have some red seal steel remaining in the deck. Hanged Man is great. Could be time to part ways with that polychrome card. Is that of much value when you have red seal glass at this point?
I mean,
guess you do need a card to play though.
Yeah.
So you could just cut the 5 and play the 8.
It's weird. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
the polychrome can be relevant at this point.
No. You have face cards, red seals, glass. But it is still like awkward because you have to part ways with one of these kings if you cut both of those, or you just, sell it. But that doesn't feel great either because it's just a wasted resource. It's a pretty high value resource in a PvP match if you want to like be able to draw these kings more reliably. If you want to, maybe make your idol a little bit more reliable, which in the idol gameplay, Sizaak probably has a decent advantage.
Definitely more setup for idol if it were to show up. The one benefit for Bear is obviously having that dusk, but again, Sizaak cancels most of that out with the amount of red seals.
I wonder, is 3 of a kind just a better hand than a 4 of a kind right now for Sizaak?
It's not as good as Flush 5, though.
No, not quite. Yeah, and Flush 5 is just, even with the steal, the Flush 5 is probably better. Does move the Jokers.
Bear not able to glass the red seal. It wouldn't have been the right suit to begin with, but again, that's just like we are 2 taros away from getting that red seal where it even needs to be, where we would. It's hard to not see the snowballing for Sizaak at this point. Now that Bear doesn't really have an econ advantage.
Right. Also, really tough decisions here from Bear just because of the asymmetry of everything. Trying to figure out, I don't know what to copy here at first glance. You can't rely on heuristics here. You actually have to start thinking about it and doing some math, which is dangerous for a fellow like me. Okay, Bear is forced to play the hand that can give Sizaak some information on what hand needs to be thrown. No calculators, though, so going to have to... Ooh, that's a bit higher than I was expecting from Bear.
But maybe Bloodstone went crazy, but...
Yeah, and Sizaak recognizing that and saying, maybe I need the steal in hand to help me out.
I mean, I guess there's only 1 red seal in this hand, so we're down 4 triggers, but we're not down any on our photo hand. Right. And we have an extra glass.
And there is, right, and 2 steel in hand as well. 3 effectively with the red seal.
I think Sizaak has it, but I don't know.
It might just come down to the Bloodstone triggers, but I didn't see if glass was breaking on Bear's side. But
it is not.
Glass on Sizaak's side is far more valuable. Oh,
1/8. That's okay. Take back everything I said about the Dusk Plate. The fact that Sizaak is now 1 life, I think objectively you have to say Bear made the right play.
Yeah, I
this crystal ball is fantastic though for Sizaak. I will say that.
It is. It breaks apart some of those really awkward and frustrating moments that Sizaak was having with this vagabond. But still at a severe disadvantage here, trying to basically down a Joker. Up in terms of deck fixing and deck building, but down a Joker, and a pretty important Joker in Dusk. This is again that exact risk that we talked about with the Vagabond, where there's no telling if that Dusk is anywhere but in that previous ante, right?
Yep.
It's not guaranteed that just because Sizaak saw the Dusk the Bear saw the Dusk that Sizaak will. So really, really unfortunate to be down an entire trigger in the form of that Dusk right now. But there's now 2 open potential hits still for Sizaak, in the form that you could get a Sock and Buskin, and would be ecstatic about that because of all the Red Seal Kings. Can also get the Dusk that the Bear won't be able to see. So that gap can close quickly, but because of the lack of money generation, going to have to get a little lucky to find it.
Yeah, no, the point I want to make here is Sizaak's this vagabond super beneficial, and I think it's what you have to make, but it puts Sizaak in this weird bind where you have Chad, you have these gold seals, you have lucky cards, and you're not chatting any of them, which is just so much money that Bear possibly could be making. Luckily for Sizaak, there's just not a lot of luckies and gold seals on Bear's side, but it's awkward.
I mean, there's enough to. We're dead even on money, but that's again, Bear's bringing in interest. Bear's able to Chad this gold seal right now, so that gap might continue to widen just because of how long Sizaak has been in this vagabond. But I mean, there's something to be said for the it doesn't register on that total spent, but like every tarot card has a value associated with it, right? Like the buying tarots in the shop costs you money. You're generating, 7 usually per round. That's another $16 that's not registered in that total spent right now.
I'd argue even more valuable than like what you could purchase for them, because having them generate in round, right, where you can use them right away.
Right.
That's why, again, that's why Vagabond's so powerful for those maybe curious. A death showing up for the Arcana pack for Bear, but not really anything that exciting. May even choose the Emperor instead.
Yeah, and this patience with the Fool could really, really benefit.
It could go crazy
Sizaak
here for Sizaak, yeah.
Right. Doing a quick check, getting an opportunity
hit.
to... Yeah, and that's, again, knowing you're scoring breakpoints here and not overcommitting, but also, making sure that you're copying appropriately to maximize value off of that. It's a good recognition and a huge score. There's no risk of, well, that could waste the Fool, but it doesn't because... I think Sizaak has one thing and one thing only on his mind for this Fool, and that is a death card.
I thought that Sizaak may be tempted by that golden ticket.
I think some of the... Are there many gold cards left?
That's a great point. You're right. I don't think there is.
I think, some of them got glassed already.
Yeah, 1 life, as Vagabond said. I think, again, more importantly, you're just looking for glass and death. And there we go. We're going to have a death
Strength.
Up top.
I mean, things could get really scary if there's an idol anywhere in the seed. Because, okay, it's not the perfect death target, but the important thing is that Fool waiting in the wings to get that red seal. That's a really, really good restraint and patience from Sizaak here to make sure that Fool is used on exactly what it needs to be, which is, maybe a justice could have been a consideration, but that death is really the big money hit.
I think a good sun play from...
Yeah, I like spending that here. Just need to find that one card. It's there we go. Important to use the death. Like, yeah, you have the inventory slot to not, to be able to hold the death there. But if you're holding death, you can't get death. So really good that it came in at the last moment so that Sizaak can have an opportunity to get more copies of death.
Ugh, gross tarots for Sizaak, but has plenty more that they'll generate. We'll say don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't mind hanging on to that judgment just in case you need to like Hail Mary rip something for the PvP if you're maybe done with that vagabond. But I guess
exactly what I was thinking, Ralph, because it blocks another judgment from showing up. We saw blocking work so well for Dr. Spectre before, and it's like a judgment's a great one to block because you only want one copy to do one last Hail Mary rip anyway, so just don't want to see it anymore. Bear has a Sun card. Wasn't able to find the red seal that time around.
Ooh. Yeah, these last string of Taros have really been coming up dry for Sizaak. It's going to be hard to even make space right now. Not able to find the gold seal, which is important as well. Pretty unfortunate here, but you know, should easily clear the blind, keep the final life available, and just hope that there's something in the shop that can be a difference maker here.
Yeah, when things are all said and done, funny enough, Sizaak is actually going to roll deeper in the shop than Bear.
True. Some of those, yeah, the lack of golden ticket, you know, made it hard for Bear to spend a lot this round, but is, you know, again, up that Joker that makes it hard for Sizaak to recover from this spot. So going to have to rely on that Vagabond to provide basically Jokers in the form of glass and deaths to make up that ground.
I don't know who wins here. I think it comes down to how generous Bloodstone is with the extra triggers that Bear is going to get. It's not that many more extra triggers. And the fact that we have 2 red seal glass,
we have 2 red seal glass for now. Like
for now, true. We still have 5 Vagabond hands.
So I think I think that Bloodstone is definitely something to watch out for with those extra triggers for Bear. Vagabond is also going to be important from Sizaak's perspective here. But in terms of what was gained for this ante, Bear has essentially gained nothing, right? So his score, no. Bear's score is going to be the same. Sizaak gained 1 red seal glass, which doesn't quite on its own make up the difference. But you know, one more additional red seal glass would, you know, all things being equal, as they were in the previous match. You know, another piece of glass could do it.
I will say Bear did gain this Sun, and that sounds like so little, but he has a lot of really good cards that are not hearts right now, and right. I think he's going to be able to get a full glass or polychrome glass red seal S-can together now.
No, that is a good point. Having that in inventory, basically it's like gaining the glass cards that Sizaak has, right?
Yeah.
Sizaak gained some glass from the Vagabond. Bear gained some glass by just having that Sun and carrying it with throughout the ante. So it's going to be really these last 2 hands for the Vagabond that maybe determine where this goes. Already a good draw for Sizaak.
Very good.
Would love to see some more deaths and
I think needs a justice or a death. I think either one here could.
Probably wants to be a death though, right? Because
yeah, for sure wants it to be. Yeah,
because there's a lot of glass already, and
oh, that's rough.
Yeah, and that red seal may just be stuck in hand here as a steal card. So because it's basically like double tapping the Bloodstone, but guaranteed, right? So it's just better off in hand.
Exactly. And Bear does draw the final glass that they wanted to.
With a piece of steel in hand, that could be relevant as well.
Yep. Big note here is that the fact that was Dusk and not Sock for Bear that they found, allowing them to get the extra triggers out of this polychrome and this glass. Well, they're going to shrink the 10 to a jack, but still.
Yeah, but it's still, in this case, Dusk is just strictly better than the Sock. It is the correct copy. And that's a bad sign for Sizaak, right? The fact that Bear is copying the Dusk, that means it's the best scoring Joker in the spot. And being down a Dusk, because Sizaak would love to have a Dusk to copy here, right? But just didn't have it available.
One glass break, E12, and that's it. It was the Dusk. And
Dusk difference. And you doubted him, Zeno.
It really it came down to what was going to be more important, deck manipulation or econ with the golden ticket, and I think econ more times than not just wins out, and that's what happened here. It's so hard to make up for like a Joker difference like that. Yeah.
I mean, put another way though, like I think if that that Dusk were maybe slightly earlier in the shop, I think that goes very differently.
And here's the interesting part with the way decks and stakes are chosen with Major League Balatros. Sizaak is a very good high stake multiplayer player, but I wouldn't have gone gold stake for that exact reason. Bear's so good at playing with little, so when Bear hears gold stake, I think Bear's going to always take you to something like a Nebula, something that just feels very awkward to play.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. That's exactly right. And this is going to be a very, very different looking game than we saw in round one.
Maybe even quicker.
Oh, definitely quicker.
Please.
Just because, you know, blinds, as we saw with Doc and Mouth, become a legitimate threat when you're playing gold stake. Oof.
Wow, this is a really tough choice of a first shop.
I know. That is a beautiful constellation. The problem is, how do I get enough money to fund it? And we see, you know, Bear taking the second hand as well. I think that popcorn, good choice from Sizaak. Good recognition. Early strength means more money.
Oh.
There is some light synergy with the constellation and the built-in telescope that you have from Nebula deck, but like again, where does that money come from? You're starting at $0. You're going to take multiple hands to get through. How do you feed that constellation? That boy's hungry, and feeding him is not cheap.
That you could see it all processing through Bear's head right now.
I know. It's a really tough call because everyone knows Constellation has the potential to be a solo carry on gold stake. There's two problems with that though. One is that you need money in order to feed it. Two is that you need time, and you don't have a lot of time in multiplayer. Right? You don't have, you know, the 8 antes that you need to scale up a constellation. It's
a great. Actually, I think that's a really good point, Ruffle. Where honestly, Constellation usually kind of takes off in a gold stake run later when you establish the economy, when you need it.
Right.
It's not a good multiplayer Joker in a lot of ways. So for that reason, I think I might be out. I actually like. It's really hard because it is Eternal. I really like the walkie-talkie. Like I totally understand Sizaak opening that pack, but there's a world where that pack really backfired, and
I think the play with the pack is probably the same one that I would have made, just because odds are, even if you whiff horribly on the pack, you can get something that sells for a couple dollars and still get the walkie-talkie. So the walkie-talkie is a good like consolation prize if you don't find anything worth picking up here.
Well, there's been a lot of things that are beneficial in this seed, including a Chad and now an Immolate Deja Vu Ectoplasm. Or if you're C-dubs, Ouija. But for the rest of us, there's 3, probably only 2, probably really 1 option.
So Bear hasn't seen it yet, but if this Spectral is available to him, that single-handedly fixes the econ and potentially makes this constellation worth. I think the constellation put Bear at a pretty severe disadvantage.
Yes.
Until that Spectral pack showed up.
Now, what I will say is because we're not going to make much money here and we paid the extra money to get Constellation over the pack, I don't think Bear's going to see Chad. Because that was in a very expensive Jumbo Buffoon.
Yeah, huge strength on some 10s. for Sizaak. I think
Sizaak.
on gold stake, some of those things that we discussed earlier, where kings give you more flexibility, matter a little bit less when you're just trying to survive, right?
Yep.
Just going for the efficient line over the value line is something that's maybe necessary on a gold stake game plan, and getting that immediate strength, queuing up either a photograph or even just this faceless joker that's already in play.
Faceless and going to be able to keep the luckies used with the Chad to hopefully find some money. I mean, I actually think Sizaak's in a very, I'm not going to say comfortable position, but like you're feeling okay. You're not feeling desperate.
Right. You do feel a little bit of time pressure thanks to that popcorn is maybe the one concern. And now the question becomes, are you a gambling man?
The expected value tells you to play those luckies, actually, with the Chad. Or at least one of them.
Okay. That makes sense.
Oh, I guess since he couldn't play both of them with Chad. Never mind.
Right. Just enough money for Bear to rip the Spectral, get the immediate...
He's going to do it, right?
Yeah, I think buying the strength is just a setup for a Wraith, and then bam, here comes the great news that that's an Immolate, better than any other possible Spectral card you could see here. I mean, there was a temptation, I think, for Sizaak to maybe look at that red seal just because of the hanging Chad already in tow, but like that early money is so important and so difficult to come by on gold stake.
Absolutely. I think maybe if I had like a devil with me heading into that pack or magician,
right,
and I red sealed one of those, but even then I think you just take it.
Yeah, or if you just already had the photo, it's definitely a
longer
fair conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, both players grab it. You're right though. Bear did not see the hanging Chad. Both players do have the faceless, and there quite frankly just hasn't been that many opportunities for Bear to feed the constellation, even with the money, which is now gone. And not getting faceless Joker value here because the scoring is necessary. This is a tough spot for Bear without the benefit of this delicious, delicious popcorn.
So buttery.
Oh no.
It's such a weird draw too. Just gonna go for the flush.
This faceless is causing some awkward decision points. I think Bear is working to play the telescope. Yeah, you can see pumping the pairs to really, really get telescope value. And unfortunately, because of the lack of faceless Joker value, only going to get one level here and is way behind on econ.
Sizaak's actually contemplating the madness angle with your Eternal Chad.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well grab it and hang on to it. Make a decision because you're going into the PvP. It's not going to eat anything yet. It costs you $3. You know, you can maybe see if there's there's some glass for Sizaak with the Chad. That's a big deal. But you can maybe see if there's a reason not to take it, and like you don't have to make that decision now because it's a free pickup.
That's true. I actually think Bear's best play this blind was to know you're going to die to the blind and just get $5 from all the faceless value. It's gonna get at least one. Oh no, no discards. Ooh.
No score.
Yeah.
So that's a life loss. You get money from the life loss at least, but
that's true. Bear can't take man. I mean, you could. Sunk cost fallacy a little bit.
Yeah. Now we see Bear struggling with scoring, and you know obviously that's part of gold stake. But Sizaak's not too far past that because of the fact that this popcorn is just going to be gone soon.
Yeah. Sizaak has at least the hope of lucky cards hitting with that Chad, but it's exactly that. It's a hope. It could easily not happen, and then you die to a blind. I will say second strength for Sizaak. It's very close to having 8 jacks, which would be pretty nice to build 4 of a kind.
Yeah, already just having the 6 is a big deal for making this. That's a big part of the money difference is having those extra jacks to make the Faceless Joker get value. Okay, opting to rely on interest rather than Faceless Joker value here for the PvP. Lives are extraordinarily precious on Gold Stake PvP, right? You can't really play around too much with your lives total like you can in lower stakes, where you can expect to get that big rebound. Because you still have the blinds to compete with. The blinds, as Bear already encountered, are legitimate threats, and Sizaak really needs to find some form of scoring right now. That is unfortunate, unless
that's crazy.
God, perfect block. That is an unbelievable block.
I can't believe it. I was gonna say, wow, that's lucky. Bear gets a non-eternal Chad, and then it's a photo for Sizaak.
The timing of that was just perfect. That Sizaak being slightly behind so that we could see that there's a hanging Chad queued up, and then right behind him we get to see exactly what it blocks into. And, Sizaak really well positioned for this photograph as well.
Wow. Yeah, we did hire the Bean writers for this season and knocking it out of the park so far.
So this, unless something changes for Bear quickly, this could be a quick one.
I think Bear could maybe get out of these blinds, though. This Chad's not really doing much. It'll add 120 chips, which is rather beneficial for the pairs. But
I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't even considering the blinds, even after all that talk about how impactful they are. I'm just thinking like the PvP is. Sizaak is at such an advantage, but you're absolutely right. These blinds are really concerning for Bear right now, and to the point where Sizaak can just casually throw
literally
these
do
hands,
whatever.
decide, do I want to get Faceless Joker value or do I want to preserve my life total? There's a lot of flexibility involved in the amount of strength, not just the tarot card that Sizaak has available right now.
Has Sizaak even seen a single 10 yet in these past 2 blinds? Oh, there's one. You just got to complain.
Yeah, to be fair, there were, the strengths were used early, so there's only 2 10s left. So it's not like you become increasingly less likely to find them. Oh, the molt shot again. Just huge difference. Sizaak went into that PvP way later than Bear did.
Yeah.
And milked out full, not full, but pretty good Faceless Joker value. Was taking time in the shop to really think about what should be picked up, and still made it through just because Bear has to struggle just to find some scoring here to potentially survive. This is a very uncomfortable position. There is no odd Todd anymore, so these aces barely do it. Jeez.
That dice is going to be so good for Sizaak in... I mean, maybe they don't reroll here and they see it after next blind, but if the game wasn't already feeling like it might be over, it's basically over with that dice.
I mean, does Bear have any
They do
lucky
have
cards?
Bear does have... I think has 2. I think it's a king and a 7 or something. I mean, Bear checks the deck so often, I'm surprised I haven't been able to catch it. 2 jacks. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. We have this beautiful overlay that tells me up here. Two lucky
right.
cards for Peace and 1 glass for Sizaak.
I have access to that same information. Oh, there's the 10.
Yeah.
So there's
my
the 8
gosh.
jacks, one of them glass for Sizaak. Incredible.
Feels like a formality. Anything is possible, but
Yeah, I mean, we saw 1 ante's worth of like gain in money. Sizaak won the money game last match the entire round. That 1 ante difference where Bear was way ahead, it was enough to change the outcome. But that's really hard to do with after this PvP match, likely to only be 2 or 1 life left.
let's see what this dice does for Bear. Not much except 1 shot, so you can't get any money out of it. A little frustrated.
I'm just gonna yeah, it's unfortunate because that money was pretty desperate at that point, but it's at least incredible immolate, but at least it's not the opposite problem that Bear has been having, which is struggling to get through those blinds.
Yeah.
But with that, with that telescope, with that constellation, that's becoming increasingly less of a concern. If Bear's able to keep money going, the blinds are going to be less of a problem, but Sizaak's scoring tech is going to start being an issue. Good purple seal for Sizaak. Good immolate with only 1 jack. You could use the aura, does lose the jack, but still got to be a net gain in terms of being able to make that.
As if Sizaak wasn't happy enough. Nice little extra 10 bolt.
Yeah, that's certainly meaningful at the
after the photo chat. I will say, I wonder if Sizaak was not contemplating grabbing dice, because I think you get it regardless, but we'll want to play the glass card to kind of finish this game off, and it's a little awkward to play it with the dice, but it just provides so much money. You gotta grab it.
Yeah, I think a good situation for Sizaak here would be if these kings get playable and maybe like a 3 of a kind. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, but if that were the case, where 3 of a kind kings or maybe, I mean, in a better situation, 4 of a kind kings, and you just know that you don't have to make that play.
Yeah.
Huge molt hits for, oh my
3
god.
in a row.
Well, we're gonna need to see the glass come out here for Sizaak, it looks like, because Bear just hit big on the luckies.
And this is the question now: will we sell out a dice? Which I feel like it might be a mistake. I mean, a money hit.
Another money hit. Yeah,
I was certain that the dice was going to be more beneficial for Sizaak, but maybe this dice is like the saving grace for Bear.
I think I like this play of potentially throwing that high card jack just to maybe get some of those money shots on your side as well, and then throw the then you can make a decision about the oops and throw the 4 of a kind with the glass jack up front.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So it looks like that might be what Sizaak is going for here. Does seem likely that there will be at least 1 money hit here. Oh. Well, now you're in a tough spot again.
He's going to sell it.
Yeah. It's a tough call. That having 1 piece of glass with your opponent on 2 lives, like it's just like that situation Bear had with the deciding whether to dusk or golden ticket, right?
Yes.
It's just close enough that you're like, oh, is it worth maybe, and loses it anyway, so that feels bad, but
it feels terrible.
Critically does take the life.
Oh, hello, Turtle Bean. I mean, this has opened a very, 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 I want to emphasize, very tiny door for Bear, where if we just keep getting tons of money hits and we can see a lot more in the shop, maybe even see a photo, there's a way back into the game.
With overstock in the shop, that becomes a very big possibility. Now, that said, the Turtle Bean is going to be in Sizaak's favor because of the fact that they're playing towards the bigger hands, right?
Yes.
So Bear doesn't really care all that. Like, the Turtle Bean is nice, helps you find the lucky cards in particular. Ooh, and that oops with the
business card.
With the business card could be something, but Bear doesn't need the Turtle Bean to make the hand.
No, it's really just to find the luckies.
Exactly.
I don't. I that abstract Joker kind of saves Bear if they get unlucky, but
it maybe helps in the blinds, but doesn't matter for the PvP, right?
Yeah. Oh, 2 lucky hits. If anything, I almost don't want it because you may win too fast. Like, I feel like I may just keep the bean there, or maybe you do the business card.
Yeah, unfortunate to have that huge of a hand and not see either the lucky cards or the glass cards for Sizaak. That's second death is, oh my god, not even a single jack here. Is this the unluckiest Balatro player in history?
I blame Bean.
How that's not supposed to happen with the bean. That's like the exact opposite of the
and interesting because it feels like I'm surprised Sizaak didn't pull the purple seal because Bear did and was able to copy it. And it's the same exact purple seal, but I don't know exactly how the deck worked. And there it is. There's the photo. It is rental, but we can afford it with this dice. And there's no glass advantage currently for Sizaak. No.
And the constellation is going to narrow the gap that the bigger hands that Sizaak has been favoring had been granting him. So this is and also very critically business card without the eternal tag for Bear with the dice still in tow. That's a lot of potential money.
The only issue with that business card is you have to be careful not to win, so you can't play it with, like, you have to play non-lucky cards basically, or just get an idol. A perishable idol is very good for Sizaak, not ideal for Bear.
Because as a result of those bad jacks being in hand, Sizaak does now have quite a few jack of spades.
Bad jacks, in this hand. I wouldn't be shocked to see this idol on Jack of Spades and it just be over.
Does catch up on those lucky card queue and gets a few money hits there, in addition to the business card putting in some decent work. So has plenty of money to roll and potentially see the that idol that. Oh, what is happening this game?
All these they want the popcorn came back too.
It's just boomerang jokers. There's the idol. It's on 6 of spades. Is that worth giving up your turtle bean, or oops, all 6 is 4?
And Sizaak took the eternal business card, so they can't sell the business card for the idol.
Yep.
I guess it's got to be bean, but that's stinky.
Yeah, that doesn't feel great either because that bean is doing some decent work.
No idol for Bear.
You just roll past it? No, you can't. Not with your deck set up the way. Yeah, not with your deck set up the way it is, and with the only needing to take 1 life.
Yeah.
Right. You needed to hit once and you win is how you can assume, or the position you assume you're in right now. And I think we can.
I'm shocked.
Full blind. I mean, there's still another shop to go. I was
just gonna say I'm
the PvP there.
Shocked that Bear didn't take the business card or the idol over the blue joker. Like, it is quite a few chips, but it feels like you're gonna need something slightly more. He forgets that it's Nebula and he only gets to use 1 purple at a time. Oh.
Ooh. We've all made that mistake. Let's be honest.
And no
huge
complaining.
Hit on the kings for Sizaak, just making that idol a little bit more likely.
Yeah. Well, no
And
lucky
four of a
hits
kind.
for Bear in any capacity, mult or money. Still was able to get through. And Sizaak's about to take a little bit of a lead in the in this shop. So it hits
Yeah.
Jack of
Ooh,
Spades.
that's those bad jacks we were talking about.
Yeah.
They're still there. One world card could make a big difference as well. Still not seeing like the full set of deck. Oh, okay. We had a whoopsie moment there from Sizaak ripping the Emperor. I guess you probably just rip it anyway. You're that desperate for a world.
No, gets the Justice, but no Jack of Spades in this hand. You can't buy a tarot.
Tarot packs have been brutal just for the cards that have been visible. Yeah, I do like getting the glass while you have access to it. Glass is very valuable right now. Feels bad that it wasn't on one of the cards you're looking for. There's the world.
Wow, he literally has the world now.
Right. That has to be your lone inventory slot. Nothing else matters right now. Is that a glass polychrome 3?
Yeah, it is.
That's tempting, but I like. Do you care at this point when you're just trying to end the game here?
I feel like you have such little. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think so. Wow, they are very in sync all of a sudden. Draws it right away just to be like, haha. Yeah. Waste of a card slot. Yeah, I'm fortunate for. I'm curious, did we glass anything on Bear's side? We do have that 3 as well.
Missed it.
I don't.
Looks like just that 3, yeah.
So this death isn't going to be able to do much.
Well, there's 3 jacks that need to get the world applied to them, and just the one finally some good fortune in terms of like the order of tarot generation and tarot cards for Sizaak. It's been like even back to the Vagabond trying to fish for those red seals repeatedly. Finally. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, when it rains, it pours, I guess. That's...
Put him out of his misery, Sizaak. Death it and rip it.
Yeah, this is just got to be GG at this point, right? Not even...
Yeah,
I don't see how you can...
Unless...
even close to this.
No, yeah. You can't. That's the answer. I mean...
Yeah.
The answer actually was both purple seals having deaths, getting 4 polychrome glass cards for Bear, and then I still don't think it matters because of the photograph slightly gives us X still the lead.
Right. I mean, I guess it would have been a flush house. Would have needed to be with 3, but even that's not enough, and unfortunately, just doesn't really draw much of a hand at all here at the end for Bear. Does have a cheeky flush, which has got to be better than the 2 pair, but
yeah,
not going to be nearly 10 million better than the 2 pair. Early mult hits. The lucky card's doing everything possible. Got a
respectable
lot
score.
Yeah, got a lot closer than I was anticipating, to be honest with you. Really scrappy play by Bear there to kind of get out of that econ hole that the Constellation put him in, and really put up a strong showing there at the end and almost turned the corner.
No, absolutely. I actually think, though it ended up being that world card being enough for Sizaak. Without that, it could have been very close, couple million to $1 million. But That was entertaining. I mean, that's why I like watching Nebula deck. I don't want to play it, but I'll watch people try and figure it out.
Yeah, it's one of those things that a doofus, likes to flatten the skill curve a little bit. So I picked checkered deck and ghost deck because that mitigates some of the advantages that my opponents have.
Yeah, there you go. I wouldn't say quite the doofus.
I think. Did I miscount? Is there? Yeah, there's just a straight there to the queen, but I guess the flush is also.
There was
enough.
So many things. I'm just glad that they both saw one of them.
Right. Early runner is interesting. Could be worth a hex target. Runner is one of my favorite gold stake pair jokers. I don't know about you.
I just played a run today where I onked a holographic runner and it carried me.
Both players really thinking about the fact that, again, there is no order here. You really, even with a pretty good joker in the shop, really heavily incentivized to check those buffoon packs just because you can lose a run on the spot to missing a certain, like that first joker in the pack, right? It's happened to me. It happened to me week 1, I think, against Halion in season 1. There was a DNA in the pack, and I lost because of it.
I think at this point, there's certain matchups that are just like cursed, and I think Halion versus you is one of those. No matter what you do. Yeah, we won't talk.
He's in the other division this time, at least, so I'm free of that. It's probably gonna be Feinberg this year instead.
Yeah, I hear they're training together.
Is that true? That's devastating if it's true. All right, enough money to grab another buffoon pack here with Jimbo already in the shop. Jimbo just kind of good enough for probably both of these players. Just desperate. Like, you really, really, really want some flat mold early, no matter what your build is looking like. Is there concern for Sizaak that the Jimbo just wins too quickly? Maybe. I think that's what some of that mousing was.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking it's a $1 Jimbo, right? At worst, it probably is net positive as we see Bear pick up, with less risk of getting those chips involved. But basically, you pay $1 or $2 to buy it, $1 to sell it. That's net minus $1. But if it gets you through in one fewer hand, then it's net neutral, right? So it's very, very likely to be money positive, just base case for a $2 Jimbo in the early stages of this run. That's why it's just, if you have the money when I'm playing Gold Stake, it's just you always buy it. You don't think, because now you're in a situation where Sizaak would love +4 molt right now.
Yeah, and I think Sizaak, funny enough, I think felt like it would win too quickly with straights, but just with the fact that we have reserved parking, I'm with you. I just take it to allow me to do more funky moves, if you will.
Because is this straight enough right now?
It's a great question. It is.
Okay. Sizaak knows the breakpoints better than I do, so I would have been cowardly there. But you do kind of need some source of multi at some point here, right? The blinds are catching up. You're not going to draw that straight to the ace every time. Spare Trousers isn't terrible as like a mult joker, but the rental doesn't feel great. I'd still rather just have that Jimbo.
That's the thing that we didn't even just discuss there, is that, like, okay, yeah, maybe you don't want it or need it for this this boss blind, but it's like, it's Gold Stake. Like, a lot of these jokers are just completely unusable. At least 4 molt is 4 molt for Ante 2.
Right. And like, you don't buy Jimbo in that slot just because you need the 4 molt now. You buy it because you're going, like, the blinds, Ante 1 is white stake, right? You buy it because you need score for Ante 2, which is gold stake scale, where gold stake scaling starts, right? It's a bigger number than you're used to. But Sizaak is just better than us and knows how to draw straight extremely consistently. So
yeah. And you know, every straight is making this runner better and better.
right.
Very close to
And the
that
money
50.
difference is, already starting to take effect. Not spending that extra money, taking the time to farm the reserve parking a little bit. Sizaak going into the shop with a little bit more money than Bear did, I think.
Ooh, a riffraff from the Judgment. That's exciting.
That's a value engine.
I'm a sucker for Eternal Smiley on Gold Stake. And I mean that literally. Like, I feel like it's probably a trap sometimes, but it just feels so nice.
The chat.
Feels so nice.
We might not see this.
No, we're not going
to.
to.
This riffraff. That could be a huge. That can escalate quickly, especially when Sizaak's already maybe down molt or absent molt. Might force the hand in taking that scary face or that smiley face.
And it's not like we can. I in no way blame Sizaak. I think the gold card and the hung man there made arguably made more sense. I was kind of shocked that Bear ripped the Judgment, and it hit one of the best possible things.
Oh my God, the greed is still ongoing. This is incredible. I mean, that's what it takes to turn the corner and turn this from what is just maybe your typical gold stake run into like a multiplayer ready build, right? See another vagabond. Zeno, grab the pillow.
I mean, it's a must take. Shout out really quickly, Cookie Brigade in the chat. Shout out to Cookie Brigade, our partner with these beautiful new jerseys that Sizaak is sporting today.
I'm sure Bear is too, just off screen.
Exactly. We saw Doc's PNG wearing it today, which was really cool.
Yeah. Doc always comes prepared with the drip. A dangerous moment here as we see Sizaak doing some math. I do not recommend doing this at home, but does get rewarded for doing it. And there we see the Vagabond. It is... And now here's a relief for those of you whose bedtime is fast approaching, like myself. It is perishable, so there are only 5 rounds that you can get value off of it. It's not going to be the same marathon that we saw with the first Vagabond necessarily. And that's if it even gets picked up. There's, well... Huh. That Chad is really scary from Bear's perspective because Photograph is also a common joker and can get spawned out of that riffraff. I might be tempted to grab the Photograph or grab the Hanging Chad and just get out of the Vagabond and start looking to farm Photograph off of that riffraff.
Ooh. I think what's more tempting in a way, I don't know how to... It's the fact that the deck's already shaped a little bit. We've had we've killed 4 cards. It feels like you're so close, right? To like really making this into an insane build. Not taking the blueprint to me is wild.
Yeah, it was an easy decision for Sizaak after passing on the Vagabond. Maybe feeling maybe, as a result of what happened in that first match where the Vagabond was bought and, still reeling from that a little bit. Sizaak notably also did finally, claps in chat, found some flat molt.
I was going to say hit the timer button, but we'll do both. Claps for the timer and for the flat mold. Ooh.
These rental perishables are just getting
But
ridiculous.
that is fantastic for this PvP. Sell the riffraff, grab the acrobat. If you aren't going to have space for the riffraff to look for photo. I mean, that should win it.
You're basically, the problem with this play is you're mortgaging your future for one life, basically.
Yeah.
Potentially one life, even, because Sizaak has some decent scoring even without the ×3 right now, if even just a few straights can be made. Right, like, is there a hand that Bear can make that's going to beat, maybe with some Vagabond shenanigans?
That's what I'm thinking is we get 2 cards from Vagabond. It could easily be, you know, a couple Empresses, Chariots, Glass with the Chad.
Meanwhile, this runner continues to scale. That extra hand size really coming in handy for Sizaak to draw 3 consecutive straights now.
Very, very good voucher for Sizaak's game plan.
4. All 4 hands were straight.
Oh,
limited discards necessary, and some decent reserve parking value here at their end. Not that reserve parking ever procs anyway.
Well, there's the Glass.
But what hand are we playing for Bear that...
We could play a flush house if we just would get a star, a sun, or a world. And we don't get any of those.
Nope. Do get some high-value Terras, though.
Very high-value Terras, yes. I don't believe this full house would be enough. It's like X4.
Yeah, there's not much of a starting point is the problem.
Yeah, exactly. There you're at times 16, times 3. Nah, it can't be anywhere close.
I mean, it's starting to show the value and the importance of having chips, right? Like,
yes.
That runner is doing a lot of work right now. Again,
never mind. I can't do math.
I trusted you, Zeno.
I can't do math. I really well. You know what, the fact that Blue Joker came in foil was very helpful.
That is true.
That was 50% more.
Have a big molt number to multiply. Having chips also can help increase the big number that you're multiplying, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the acrobat. The acrobat did its job. It came in. It won a PvP. I think it's gonna get sold. We're gonna hit this hermit and then go searching for something else.
Are we beating blinds without it?
I think with the blueprint on abstract, or again you get something from Vagabond, it feels very hard to lose a blind right now. I think.
Yeah, it feels hard not to get something good enough off of the Vagabond.
Yeah,
but still, Sizaak finally not drawing a straight here. What happened? How is that possible?
It's like this is how I feel every time I go for straights and ever for anything. So
yeah, anything above blue stick.
Yeah. We're going to take the clearance sale for both these players, actually. But funny enough, Bear doing it more of to actually get under the money threshold.
Right. Doing that Vagabond dance. And it looks like Sizaak abandoning well, as soon as I say that, he drew a straight, but was abandoning the straights in favor of just getting reserve parking value, but still has a straight on the backswing now. While still getting a chance to farm that that reserve parking a bit.
Everything is perishable. It's rental. It's just it's been
disgusting.
gross.
Who chose the steak?
It's funny because Sizaak even said verbatim, he's like, well, I guess if I make you go on gold stake, I don't hate ghost deck anymore. It's always when you make that comment, will the game not show you a single normal Joker?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't be disrespecting the game like that. Interesting decision. I like slight preference towards glass being on a face card, but then there's the gold seal, so
yeah.
Opts for the gold seal. 6 is notably involved in, I believe, more straights than any other number, right? So
yep.
Helpful for the runner.
Yeah, I believe 10 through 6 are the numbers. If you're playing straights, those are all
really those nice hits that you're looking for. Oof, missing the straight again. Very un-Sizaak like.
Not the greatest pulls thus far from Vagabond this time around.
Yeah, I mean, we did see. I mean, there were not a lot of deaths and fools coming for Sizaak either. So it's not guaranteed that just because you're generating a lot of tarot cards doesn't necessarily mean you get the right ones.
I don't think there's anything, unfortunately for Bear, that they can play that doesn't instantly win here.
Sizaak selling out of that not needing the flat molt just because of the molt cards in hand with the Chad.
Yeah.
And not really sure what we're fishing for with the reserve parking no longer there. There's the blue seal. That's okay. Good play.
Wow. Very good spot. Only the first straight level, which is interesting.
Right, and I think that's why, willing to pay a few extra dollars in order to get that blue seal hit on Saturn is a big deal right now. Oops.
So Bear thought about the oops and I think looked at the glass cards and said no because it's eternal. I've made this mistake in Major League Balatro and then regretted it, but I do think on Gold Stake with where we are, it's with having the Chad, we just saw how, I mean, it truly was insane how much money was made last game by the lucky / oops. It's an econ Joker, so.
Right. Not even just the lucky, but also the business card coming into play for both of these players really helped accumulate a lot of funds.
Ooh, Death and Hierophant 4. Bear is going to want to be looking for that glass card now. Or doesn't have it. Maybe it broke.
Again, that awkward spot that we saw from Sizaak previously, that you need to get the death out so that you can make more deaths, but you can't find the right card.
Yeah, I'm mistaken. The glass did break for Bear in that round, so we just have 2 golds and a steal. So I guess anything you would want a death currently is kind of in the hand. It's just up to Bear on if any of them are worthy. I'm just going to go with the blue seal.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. We are on Gold Stake.
I agree. Oh, and the fool so rewarded.
Good order. Important to use that death last when possible, just to make sure that that fool is available to you.
Not going to get any blue seal value, though, because we're going to fill it up with tarot cards.
True. That's. I think the gold is more just for the money.
For the money. No, I agree.
Recover from the vagabond. Which, 2 more rounds. 2 more rounds before Bear just kind of falls off a cliff.
I mean,
in terms, like,
it's terrifying
in every aspect. Yes, this is like Sizaak's been slowly building this runner, where this is like the opposite of game 1, right? Sizaak's been building the runner, building the Joker roster. Bear's been building the deck, and I don't know. It's going to depend on what Jokers come around after these perishables perish that dictate where this is going to end. That's a really good talisman pickup, but can't afford it, even with selling the magician here.
If I'm not mistaken, chat, Bear misses the red seal jack because they didn't open up that second standard pack. That could be huge if this game goes long enough for that red seal jack to be enhanced in different ways. I will say we are in Ghost Deck where Deja Vu is more of a possibility, but still.
Yes, but I missed that entirely, and that's a big deal, especially, again, with that hanging check queued up. We're just waiting for the photograph to show his face. They're really agonizing over this. I think that I like this play. Selling the Acrobat is basically giving up a life for a talisman at this point, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't know if you can make that play, and like it kind of undoes the effort that you put into this Acrobat and the money that you paid for this Acrobat, the rental fee that is
$9. Yeah,
right. In the course of these this entire ante.
I will say though, if no justice shows up, I actually think Bear still probably has it with like the Acrobat and like a 4 of a kind now that they've been able to build into and the chariots, but it's definitely going to be closer.
It definitely is, because we saw that the hanging Chad on the glass was doing a lot of the heavy lifting in that previous round. Now Sizaak's not going to draw the same way that
that was
we saw in that past, because that was a anomaly, but does have. Looks like, setting up for a flush house with the moon, maybe?
Yeah. Doesn't need to go the straight route anymore.
No. And can do a flush house 7s full of 6s. I'm sure that would make chatters very happy.
I'm doing the hand motion. Huh. I'm a little curious what Bear's doing here. I feel like I'm really confused because this has no Acrobat.
Right. Shouldn't this be the Acrobat hand?
And we could have used Vagabond to find more jacks. That way we could hold a steal.
Mm-hmm. And you risk turning off the Vagabond while not copying the Vagabond.
Exactly. We turn off the Vagabond, we don't score enough, and all of a sudden it's just over. I'm actually thoroughly confused.
All right, we are looking at the 6-7 flush house on Sizaak's side though. Maybe change. Both players just constantly changing their mind. They're really, really.
These two are lucky they're not in the same division as Nantre. I'll say that. I think a lost life to every single ante to the timer, and the money comes through.
Yep.
Oh.
They're both basically just Anthony Edwards with that bottle of Gatorade, you know.
How many 10s do we have on Bear's side? Because it'd be very great for Bear to be able to hold on to these steals. Oh, flush house, or we could go the flush house angle now with the kings and hold on to the steals. I wonder. I don't know if Bear sees it. He doesn't. I don't think he saw the line.
There's a big number from not a lot of jokers on Sizaak's side, right? Like that's just does have now another flush house available, and maybe that's why the 7s were pitched away. Not just to avoid upsetting chat, but maybe to have a second bite at a big hand like this.
If you're Bear and you want to get the flush 5 level, you have to play quickly because I don't think. Well, no, the flush house
might
no, you're right.
Get there, right? It should be almost 2x the current score, just because it's.
And with that score, I think
relevant scoring hand. So I think Bear is going to take this.
Yep.
Keeping the acrobat.
Oh, $20 and 20 mult. That is huge as we head towards maybe the end of all these jokers.
Yeah, gonna need to find a replacement for them soon. Because again, Sizaak not really as joker reliant right now as Bear, but Bear has gotten great deck fixing out of that last round. That getting that flush 5 available is a huge deal. Getting the flush 5 level makes it easier to score once these jokers disappear. And still having one more round of deck fixing thanks to the Blueprint Vagabond is going to be a big deal.
I think we could probably sell Acrobat here for the bean too to make sure we draw like the 10s to turn them into the jacks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we also have Faceless Bean as an option. Shout out to Vagabond.
Right. You do also have just like lives to play with if you are Bear, right?
Yep.
Like you've got room to give.
And we get the crystal ball for the final Vagabond, though. I don't. Ooh. I mean, it feels like a gold stake run in a lot of aspects, but the fact that Bear is gonna have like 43 cards in the deck with like a quarter of them being jacks is marvelous at this point.
Right. If that like the Joker that we're all like waiting for right now is obviously the photograph, right? Because the Hanging Chad's been here for a while. If that shows
another
red.
red.
Oh wow. Maybe I'm wrong. Nope. Bear gets it too. Okay, I was gonna say that's gonna be in Sizaak's advantage, but now the red seal coming into play for Bear. That changes things. So
I think Sizaak, if anything, Sizaak's probably disappointed to see that one because the last one was so late in an ante that you think maybe I only saw it, which he did.
Maybe getting a chance to make use of this Gold Seal 6. I don't know that we've seen it prior to this, but will be good to get some additional money.
Ooh, a sigil could hit like if you can get all the face cards in one. It's already pretty, actually, all on hearts anyway.
Yeah, and without the bean, the sigil looks a little worse.
Yeah, it could have been a really cool combo. He's gonna take it. Oh, we can replace the acrobat with the trio.
I mean, it might last. Like, you only need one skip to make it last both of the next two PvPs, which is the number of lives that Sizaak has. So maybe it's not that wild. Are you really going to be able to make good use of this faceless while doing the Vagabond dance anyway?
And the sigil.
Right. I guess the other question is the abstract necessary if you've got some decent base molt?
Oh, forget the sigil.
That's scary. That does mean that death is coming around for Sizaak in the next shop.
Yeah.
But
it also means that Sizaak will have the sigil bean play available to them next shop, which I'm curious to see.
Yeah, that could open up some potential jokers that maybe Bear won't be as interested in.
Wow. That is incredible for Bear because they are going to be able to sun the Red Seal and Death It so they could have Flush House available with the Jackson Kings. Now
gotta find them first.
Yeah, gotta find them though.
Smaller deck though, so it isn't unlikely to happen. It's just
not even gonna even. Never mind.
Really?
Forget it. Felt like we could have discarded first before selling that sun. Then, little shocked by that.
Well, what you don't understand as the person who popularized the misprint tech, Bear just simply knows the cards that are.
Of course. Oh my god, I actually think that was it.
It would have been there if that hand that was just played were used the last discard instead. It would have been. You could have hit the sun on 2 kings and death the Red Seal.
I think that's just
You're exactly right.
And it's like I don't want to overstate it, but the Vagabond's gone after this. Like that was a huge play, in my opinion, a huge mistake because Flush we would have easily had the Flush House available to us whenever we wanted.
Does get steal on it, so that's a decent consolation price. So I think that works out. And could end up mattering, pretty significantly in the long term. Because with a different line, or with the line we were looking at, only one of them gets the steal on it because the death would already be used.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Both players showing really, really good understanding of their scoring breakpoints and knowing where to point that blueprint without losing any value, without any risk of losing a life either.
So things are
yes, the players are taking their time and playing slowly, but they're using it to good effect as well. Glass card now in play for Sizaak, as well as the trio becoming available. No glass on the Red Seal, though. Again, these turtle beans are doing Sizaak dirty.
It's kind of incredible that this is an entire series of matches that Sizaak simply cannot ever draw the card he wants to in a pack. Ooh, Polychrome 7 versus the Purple Seal.
I feel like we've seen a similar decision before.
Mm-hmm.
There's also even just the Gold Seal Jack. This is a tough call.
That is going to be what it is. Gold Seal Jack for the Chad money. We are going to grab the trio for Sizaak.
Yeah, and a really bare Joker roster on the left side of our screens right now. While also not having a whole lot of money to fish for, Jokers to fill out those 2 remaining spaces. That's that Hermit's a little bit stranded right now without a lucky card hit. It's
Bear was looking for the 2 gold cards in the Gold Seal and somehow has not been able to draw any of them, and they can't really get rid of the cards in their current hand because they need them to not die.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about Sizaak's lack of luck. That's with the small size that of the deck the Bear has. That's pretty unlucky as well.
At least has a blue seal.
At least. Okay, here's a death in the shop. I don't know, Sizaak has to be further through the shop. I don't know if it's further through enough for Bear not to see that.
I believe Bear should see this as soon as he opens the shop.
Right, because I think a pretty big portion of... Although I thought
Maybe he
Bear already
blocked it.
saw that medium.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he blocked it because
wow.
Oh my.
Wow.
That's a big deal. And that red seal is just waiting for that glass card anyway. That could be Sizaak's ticket back into this. And Bear, my God, just barely made it through. No pun intended this time. That was very close for a big hand with a red seal steal in hand. Does see the glass. So, yeah, I think Bear was already past the death.
Yeah,
held
he
that
blocked
death a little bit too long and blocked it.
That Mary Andy is useful. I do believe Sizaak will see it, though I don't know if Sizaak, I guess the turtle being equal or better.
Now, is there a reason on Sizaak's side to care about this world, or are we just waiting to make a more informed decision before picking up that justice in favor of the world?
Maybe more informed decision, but I agree. I probably just do it.
Yeah, the return of Mary Andrew could be interesting, especially when this turtle bean has been so frustrating in these tarot packs for Sizaak, and you really could get some decent value off of the faceless, but it looks like that might be what goes. It probably does need to go, right? Because you can't really make your hand while discarding with a reduced hand size for the faceless.
I think this is such a critical PvP for Sizaak, where Mary Andy plus the turtle bean, making sure that we glass a red seal. Like, yeah, I think it makes sense.
That's kind of what I'm thinking as well. Give up. You have a decent amount of money already. You have some gold seals where you can make some more money. Just make sure that that you hit that red seal so that you can glass and death it.
It was always going to be a fight for getting either of these players to ready up, but Bear has done it. Gonna sell the bean for Andy and
wow. That's a high upside play, but it is also very, very high risk. And seems interested in hanging on to this. I don't know why, but the world maybe just make a flush house. Okay, does part ways with it.
Probably make a flush house, get both red seals on the same page. But at this point, it's like we're about to make 2 glass red seals of a certain suit. I don't. Yeah.
Okay. Now here comes the game of can we find that red seal in time?
5
also
discards.
Potentially leaving that medium stranded for a bit, so that you can expend that death in order to potentially get another death. We've already seen 1 death blocked this match as it is.
Gotta use it right away, maybe. Maybe hoping for a suit changer.
Or a fool.
Chariot. I mean, it's a lot of scoring potential in a consumable package.
Okay, there's 1 piece of glass. Yeah, I think it might be time to start throwing some hands so that you can potentially get some faceless Joker value here. Bear looking to set things up as well. Has glass queued up, has that same steel queued up, has another purple seal, though, and there's the world that Sizaak was looking at earlier. And there's 1 red seal, not the king.
I would be very surprised to chariot this instead of continue to look for the other red seal king.
Does Bear have it? I think he, because of the death timing, that both are already red sealed, right?
No, what I mean is,
Oh,
if
I
you
see what you're saying.
yeah, use the chariot and then we have to hold it to get max score of this PvP.
Right. Instead of just digging for the.
Yeah.
Okay, both red seals come into hand for Sizaak. Has the opportunity to glass in death one and chariot the other.
For the first time, I think this entire game, Bear finds the gold seal with the Chad. We've done it.
Bear also using that, again, that very, very unique edge case knowledge of selling the Mary Andrew to see one additional card.
Yep.
And potentially find that steal that that's currently lacking. Again, few people know this game as well as BelenosBear. Especially when it comes to those like weird edge cases.
He's tested it all. And unfortunately for Bear, they don't pass Sizaak, so now they have to play. And I see a world where Bear obviously glasses a jack here, throws a chariot on some random card like a 3, and it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and that ends up, putting some of these resources at risk. Only a 4 of a kind available as well, so maybe not even going to risk the glass and just saying you win this round, but is like we've talked about, forced into the forced to take initiative here. This might tell Sizaak I can get away with greeting a little bit here. Maybe the gold seal can go first.
The gold seal could go first, and we don't need all or both red seals, I think, is going to be the play.
Yeah, that runner, not only for the polychrome, but also the 195 chips.
It's a 3.
It's providing a lot of value here. That's what?
Or 2x.
Yeah. Yeah, about 2x. A little bit less because of the on-scoring chip effects, but still very relevant.
I think this is a perfect time to state that Sizaak is the reason that people are asking for an in PvP timer.
Yeah, you can see him clearly doing the math, and math in Balatro isn't difficult. It is just tedious.
It is tedious, yes.
And so, like, it takes time to do the repeated multiplication that it basically comes down to. Especially when you're trying to do it in your head.
I think this is 400k. Oh, very bouncy Balatro. It's been going on for too long.
Yeah, Sizaak's... Like, I've been lagging a bit just on these streams, but Sizaak's in particular is quite bouncy.
So yeah, gets everything. No glass breaks, gets extra money.
Mm-hmm. Huge deal.
Very important here. Because Bear found the trio one blind prior, we're gonna get this trio in the PvP for Sizaak, and it's not gonna make its way unless we skip to PvP for Bear.
That is a big deal. You're exactly right, especially when Bear is hurting for score a little bit more than Sizaak is right now, because those glassed red seals are, putting in work.
I will say one nice thing that Bear is going for them is the amount of red seal, steel, and steel in general means they probably can play like 4 and 5 of a kind with no glass. and get away.
Yeah, it's more consistent, reliable scoring rather than the big hits that you need for PvP. Bear, when that, the trio is going to perish after the PvP for both players. We are again on gold stake. They're going to need some scoring to beat the blinds anyway. Sizaak might be forced to risk some glass, whereas Bear may be less inclined to do so. Bear did take a quick look at the skips there, maybe with the thought of preserving that trio one more time, but I don't know. They weren't good looking skips.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, I feel like you do it for the rare skip, but it's again, gold stake rare skips are just a whole nother breed of awful.
Yeah, and Sizaak, it looks to be taking it, and selling the trio in order to do so could pay off huge with this Ankh pickup if the right rare or something that pairs well with that.
And the fact that they got the cola in there.
Yeah, I know. Well, the cola, the trio only left because the cola was there.
Yeah.
But I would have been a coward, and if I am taking that cola, first of all, I'm too big of a coward to take a rare skip on gold stake. Second of all, if I do take that cola, I'm getting out of the faceless and clinging on to dear life for that trio because not a whole lot of scoring available. But Sizaak does have the luxury of having built up that runner for several antes now.
It is interesting here too, because I feel like you're gonna have to onk the Chad if you do get some rare Joker. But that, I mean, it's not a bad problem.
Best case scenario for Sizaak right now, I think, is Ancient Joker shows up, onk the Chad, get the Ancient Joker, win the game. But that, I mean, I don't know if that covers the score reliably when the Ancient Joker doesn't hit the suit that you need.
Yeah. I'm so curious to see what these rares are. And there is the Ankh for... It's actually a good time for this Ankh to show up for Bear, because we're about to have two Jokers perish anyway, and we only have a half and a reserved. And driver's license! Oh my god, perfection for Bear. You sell out, you Ankh the Chad, and we grab driver's license.
Yeah, if this rare skip doesn't hit big for Sizaak, that could be a problem. Okay, straight with the glass card should do it.
Wow, that is just absolute incredible. I won't use the word lucky, but incredible timing for Bear to find a Joker like that.
And the trio came back.
And I mean, the thing is, Sizaak will see that same driver's license. So,
right, it's just a matter of whether this Ankh gets put to use. And with $52, how are you feeling about this campfire as well? That could be,
with it being rental, feels a little stinky. I think I Ankh Chad by trio. I look in the buffoon pack, and maybe the driver's license will tell him that he doesn't need campfire.
I think I look in the buffoon pack first, then make a decision about whether I want.
Oh yeah, because we're probably we Ankh Chad over anything anyway. You're right.
But is Sizaak's driver's license online? Bear with a
Vagabond blueprint earlier.
Vagabond was only at 20. And that glass breaking could deactivate that driver's license pretty quickly.
Yeah, if we just look at the current enhancements we have access to looking at, it is 2, 4, 10, 11 to 8. Of course, this doesn't include Hierophants, Empresses, and stone cards. does make the smart play of going Buffoon Pack first, so it is
12.
4 away.
That's not insurmountable.
No.
Problem is, if you're taking the campfire, you're maybe less inclined to like hang on to those enhancements. You also, if you make the Onk line, you do have, like, again, we've been hyping up this runner, and for good reason. That's a potentially big loss.
It is a big loss, but you were gonna have to lose it anyway eventually,
right,
if you're.
And with the glass, it's definitely worth on that Chad. Double tapping that glass is a big deal. Now the question
passes
is,
both.
Wow.
I guess the thought process is like we're talking about, you know, glass and a red seal and 2 Chads. Like, how much is 3x worth? I don't know. Feels like a lot.
Feels like a lot on just for passing the blinds right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you have to use those glass on the blinds, you're going to be breaking them.
I did not see what Bear ended up having to play to get out there, but he is now in the big blind shop. Both in the same exact spot in the blind. Or in the shop.
So absolutely has to hit glass cards on a pretty decent hand just in order to get out of the blinds right now. And on top of that, every time you risk glass, you potentially get yourself further and further away from this driver's license being online.
I don't know why Barry's even looking at the madness.
Tags got desynced?
That happens with skip tags. It pushes the
right.
tags to
Yes.
the wrong jokers.
That makes sense because those tags were on the rare jokers.
Exactly.
Bear grabbing another Jack of Hearts, giving himself a buffer on that driver's license as well, so some of this glass can break for Bear and not really do much harm. I think there's a decent chance with the way these jokers are looking right now.
On the timer being a little bit different there.
That we could see Sizaak going down to 1 life.
I mean,
didn't notice.
Oh, well, I guess I spilled the beans.
Unless there's just significantly more glass drawn.
it feels like the red seal steals also. I mean, each one is worth basically a glass card.
Right.
A little bit more than that, actually, and the double chat also negates the red seal being as important on Sizaak's side, at least for the first one.
And just the smaller deck from Bear.
Very
From having that Vagabond. Significantly smaller deck. It's I can't quite tell because of the chat overlay, but it looks like it might be more than 10 cards.
Yeah, I think it's 14. That is something that will be coming to future overlays.
Huge glass get from Bear here as well. I think that's
Wow.
going to continue to narrow the gap.
Yeah, wait. I mean, Sizaak is not even going to draw the glass. I didn't even.
Yeah.
I did not realize how fat it was.
This is going. Yeah, I didn't either. This is going to be a huge problem going into the dreaded small and big blind next ante. Just simply doesn't have a hand here other than I mean, full house? Is that good? Doesn't feel good compared to what Bear's about to throw down here.
I guess with double chat and a red seal, it's like you think it's okay. You think like, oh, this is this is a few 100,000, but Bear's about to put up a few million.
Right, and Sizaak's glass is a lot more precious than Bear's.
Oh, it's gone.
So like having that, I mean, Bear doesn't even need to use the Justice here, right?
No.
Like
He does it.
I,
In fact, he should know. I mean, based off the fact that we've put up 83,000 without playing this giant hand, I think we could put a lucky card first.
right.
Like, I'd probably still play the glass, but just put it at the back. Well, that, you know, make sure you win. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not taking any chances. We know that the glass is probably going to break here just because it was queued up. Oh no, Bear must have already lost some glass.
He already lost one, yeah.
Yeah, and having that backup glass just already in tow is a big deal.
Yeah, this fortune teller really... Oh, we could glass a jack here and fool for another justice. This fortune teller... I didn't realize how smart of a pickup it was from Bear because this just gets him out of blinds. I mean, 15 plus 42 times 3 is incredible.
Yeah, and you're getting decent chips from the the hanging Chad as well.
I'd be very surprised to see Bear, but it looks like Bear's not going to...
With one life for your opponent, you just got to go all in on the glass at this stage, right?
Huh. Oh. Classic. It was another Mega Arcana that we didn't realize was a Mega Arcana.
All right, I need to just start watching on my like actual monitor instead of through OBS.
Oh man.
Yeah, that does also make for a glass pickup for Sizaak, who again needs it a little bit more. Might need to take this Hierophant too, though, just to try and get this driver's license online. Like, are we that desperate yet? Apparently not.
Yeah, I mean, this game could be over in the small blind, like you mentioned. I don't know if Sizaak realizes how low their scoring capabilities are. Does get a red seal steal and the glass card right away, so I don't think we'll be losing to a blind. But
yeah, we're not losing here. But again, if Bear draws those steal cards, there's no need to risk the glass.
Yep.
Which is not a luxury that Sizaak has right now.
And look, I mean,
14 out of 16 on the driver's license.
This feels a little bit like rubbing it in, but I don't know about you, Ruffle, but I'd much rather have an Eternal Trio right now over Misprint.
Yeah. But I do admire the desire to really leave that slot open and potentially hit big.
Yeah.
The problem is you're just running out of time because of your low life total to find anything, right? Money's low and time is running out.
Yeah, maybe the thought process for Sizaak was double Chad with gold seals and everything. It's like it's so much money, but due to the roundness or chubbiness of his deck, he wasn't finding the cards that would provide that kind of money injection to then find good jokers to take up those final spots.
Right, and I think if you're Bear right now, you can play a little fast and loose here. No reason to risk glass, even if you need it for the scoring. Just take the life loss. You've got a couple to give. You're seemingly in a good position to clean things out. So there's very little pressure on Bear right now to do anything other than maybe continue accumulating value.
Ooh, we don't have uncommons. Never mind.
I do think that discard voucher is maybe a little bit more beneficial for Sizaak just because Bear is closer to seeing all cards in the deck. It's obviously still beneficial for Bear because you get further through your deck and you want to see as many cards as possible. But not quite as critical as it is for Sizaak here, who is now one card away from getting that driver's license online, and maybe there it is, resting a little bit easier through these blinds.
Maybe. I mean, so we used a glass card with 4 of a kind and scored 150, and the glass card currently with double Chad is 2 to the 5th power, which is 4, 8, 16, 32.64. I think you still are going to have to use...
Which is not a good place to be, because if you're risking that glass again, if you're at 16 out of 16, and that glass breaks, you're now at 15 out of 16.
Maybe with like 2 or 3 steals, but again, it's also going to be hard to even get the 4 of a kind for Sizaak. That extra discard will be quite beneficial, though.
Yeah, and that's bringing that strength in helps a little bit as well. So it's definitely not over. Again, Bear hanging on to this Justice for a long time, wanting to take it into the PvP, but we saw earlier that runs the risk of meaning that you don't see a Justice that's in the shop that Sizaak might. There's the Ecto. Take that for a ride for a bit. I think Bear seems like looking for a reason to get out of the reserve parking right now and not really finding it.
I think also Fortune Teller, right? Because the plus 49 molt in this PvP is probably not going to do anything because we're going to play glass. It could force turn order, which is definitely not a bad thing. But yeah, didn't find much.
That does mean that Sizaak's not going to find much, and Bear.
I actually think Sizaak's a little bit ahead.
Yes, but Bear is a little bit ahead in terms of scoring from the previous rounds, thanks to the deck building. So
yeah, he's gonna have to risk the glass.
It's not the good glass, but it is important for that driver's license. Even if it does break, you almost assuredly assume that you're going to
find enhancement.
Hit exactly an enhancement with a hallucination and like $64.
An 8-ball.
And $64.
Yeah, I actually don't. Even if we find the red seal glass, I think it might be over for Sizaak. I just think it's too powerful. Well, of course, we have $58 to reroll here. We could definitely see a Joker, so I definitely am not calling it yet.
No, it's not over, but if the Jokers don't change, I think the advantage is still with Bear. Obviously, the red seal glass is better, but I think Bear has a higher density of glass, is more likely to draw the glass, and has the red seal steel to like complement everything. So it's like Sizaak needs to find something here. The Eternal Jokers were passed on for the sake of greed, for leaving these Joker slots open, and just nothing showed up.
Now, 8-ball could provide Death Fool for Sizaak, and he could be turned into a believer.
A lot of things could happen, Zeno. A lot of things could happen.
I'm just like saying, legitimately, I think that is the only way Sizaak wins in this blind. Maybe he doesn't even need Death Fool. Maybe he just needs a death. But no 8s, so...
Bear could draw catastrophically, but that seems unlikely with only 42 cards.
Yeah, it's actually good to get a lot of bad cards out of the way here. Could do a full... I would get rid of the 10. I understand he's keeping it for strength, but you have so many jacks.
Maybe get rid of the Jack of Diamonds.
Yeah, that too. I mean, we've seen it happen plenty of times. Major League Balatro ranked, people do not discard or play their hands aggressively enough, and that truly loses the game. Because giving Sizaak runway at this point with the red seal glass is the worst thing that could happen.
Right, because Sizaak has drawn his good card. Bear has not.
Okay.
I think he might have to pitch the Steel Jack as well, yeah. Get that fella out of here.
Okay, we found a glass.
We just need to find that red seal steel now. I like the deviation from Bear so far to make sure that you're getting further through the deck. I think he's just probably aware and counting how many cards
We can get through.
are there, right?
Yeah. There's one.
Okay.
I think either piece for Bear now, either the glass jack or the other red seal steel, is pretty comfortably taking this.
Okay, we are seeing the flush house get set up for Sizaak, but only 2 pieces of glass.
Oh, bad draw.
Really rough draw for Bear. Didn't quite hit the pieces, but still might be enough.
I
Oh no, it's not. It's not going to do it, is it?
think it might. These levels might
Because
be.
I think we're at parity. The only difference was the red seal glass, right? Did Sizaak have 3 steel cards?
Sizaak had 2, but I do think the scary face more than makes up for it. And yeah, the scary face was a 2x there.
Okay. Yeah, so unfortunate draws from Bear, which is what we said could happen. Would the red seal have done it? Not quite.
Not quite. Neither. He actually needed both
Glass.
pieces.
Yeah. I think what I would love to see right now is an idle and then some aggressive skipping.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because we're approaching hour 3 right now. Did we lose any glass on either side? Looks like Bear only has
Bear
2
lost
pieces of
one.
glass. Yeah, if that overlay is correct, Sizaak could be pulling this out. Although that means that Sizaak's glass is queued up to break here pretty quick. But having a 2 glass advantage right now is a pretty big deal. Although Bear losing the fortune teller makes it harder to get through these blinds as well.
Yeah, I'd still think 4 of a kind with the steel.
Yeah, that blue seal copy early from Bear is putting in some decent work for, getting those base levels in 4 of a kind.
He's gonna have to play a glass here.
Yeah,
Or lose a life.
I mean, no levels in 3 of a kind, so that's not an option.
And a Justice and Star from 8-Ball for Sizaak.
That we might be going to the final PvP, Zeno.
I know. I knew it was gonna happen. As soon as I saw Bear last time draw the 5 normal jacks before anything else.
Yeah, I think that was a big window to miss for Bear. That just due to pretty unlikely draws, even with seeing 1 fewer card than maybe Bear was able to. Really, really is in a better position in terms of seeing enough cards or seeing more cards than Sizaak right now. That scary face was the difference maker, so
Yeah.
could have been a pickup. Rolls past it, choosing to maybe look for something a little bit more impactful.
The blinds are getting pretty serious. That's how far this game's gone.
That's a good point. We're almost to ante 8, right? Next, we're at
165.
ante 7 right now.
Yeah. For example,
Yeah,
Sizaak had to throw a glass on the Red Seal Steel
Uh-oh.
because of the draws. And that's the only way to score 110. Which they're going to make it out alive, but I do believe it's either this or the next glass breaks.
Right. The Kings are the priority in terms of glass for Sizaak still, but you don't want to, like, you need them for your flush house and get to buy without breaking. So it should be the next one then.
And there is a justice from the Purple Seal for Bear. For those who... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean, he needs to catch back up in glass.
Yeah. For those unaware, 8-Ball and Purple Seals share a tarot queue because 8-Ball was a last-minute change from its original purpose. So they just threw it onto the Purple Seal queue.
No 4 of a kind here from Bear yet. That's scary.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Might be leaving another glass or a justice stranded too. Okay, does
And
hit.
again, not able to use that Gold Seal with double Chad.
That's these draws for Bear have been outrageous in how bad they are for a 41 card deck.
I will say again, I do think Bear's just not being aggressive enough. Like seeing jacks and then always holding on to them and never.
The reason they're being held right now is for the reserve parking value.
Yeah,
so it makes sense. But like,
oh,
you're right. You are right that there could be more done there. And Sizaak just hit a $20 shot right into a Hermit. So if there's anything in the shop, ooh, wait a minute. Only Bear went hard.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. This is huge for Bear.
And getting to part ways with that reserve parking so that you're not tempted. I think you got to take the scary too.
The scary.
Bear knows it.
Yep.
I think Bear knows he. It's looking good. It's just going to come down to draws and Bloodstone not failing. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, Red Seal check. That's a heart that you can justice.
Oh my God.
What?
You could not ask for a better card other than having the glass already on it. I mean, Sizaak will see that too, but it's not going to be nearly as good for him. Unless a sun comes.
Unless the sun comes, yeah. Which we do have.
Stuck in the difficult position of doing math one more time here.
We have a Baron, which we have Red Seal Steel Kings. Is this a Ectoplasm's weird because then you're losing a spot?
I don't think you can Ecto.
I think you
have to make a decision. Is it better than Faceless or Driver's License? I like the way that Bear's been drawing. I think it's hard to make the call on that Ecto, and then you limit your hand size. But I do like this pickup, even just for those. If you draw 2 of them, that's a pretty big hit. You're going to have to discard and play more aggressively in order to make that happen, though, because you have a lot of really important cards that you need to hit right now.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Bear, I think you can't
Like, I
4-3-6.
I
Go
think
ahead.
you have to pitch some of like those steel and lucky jacks that
Exactly.
you've been holding on to a little bit too often, just to make sure that
So if
that
we
you hit
get
the kings and the red seal.
rid of 5 cards every single time, we only don't see 3 cards in the entire deck. And I think Bear just like there is a way to draw them that no matter what you kind of get screwed and you have to do 4. There was some crunch there from Sizaak as well. 1 glass break, but you got to be very aggressive.
Yes, it's the Baron puts more pressure on drawing the right cards, but does have a lot higher upside. And like you said, Bear, some of that is under Bear's control. If you're only seeing all but 3 of your cards, or it's possible to only, obviously the draws might make that impossible, but that's also potentially a good problem to have, because that means you're hitting the red seal jack, that means you're hitting the red seal king early, so you
and the glass jacks, and then you're
right,
just
so that means you need to see fewer cards anyway, so like digging is less important.
I'm gonna refresh Sizaak stream because I think it fell behind a little bit. Or is there just timer, do you think?
It just might be like inherent stream delay with the feeds.
Because I swear they weren't this. I think sometimes when Balatro lags, it desyncs the timer, which luckily Sizaak won't lose a life if the timer hits 0. The first time, so it wouldn't have mattered. Because as you see, the numbers are the same. It's just the timers were off. Draws both red seal kings. Well, there's a lot to get rid of, though.
That takes some of the pressure off.
Yeah.
That justifies the Baron already.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Because I keep finding like just okay stuff.
Yeah,
Now you just got to
there's
dig really
one
hard for
very
that
like specific piece to a puzzle
red seal
that
glass jack. And I like
if I found it,
already
I would
getting
be
rid
in
of 5
really good
cards.
shape, but it
Waste,
hasn't wanted to show up.
just dig, dig, dig. Who cares about this hex? Let's see what's in the
Who cares about the non-heart jacks as well?
Right.
Like, yeah.
and honestly, I don't care about the non-glass jacks if they're not that red seal.
Yeah.
I need to find that red seal right now.
Because yeah, absolutely. And there we go. I think that.
Okay, that's got to do it. Right? Now you can be a little bit cute with your discards. You know, you would like to find that glass. You might need to find that glass from your perspective, but yeah, it's a little bit less
There's always so much you can do now. I don't think you can get rid of the jacks, especially with them being steel, so this was the example of us saying like you could draw in a way where you can't see every card, and that is exactly what just happened.
Right, but you see the important cards is the main thing.
Bear does have a couple flush 5 levels, I do believe. I think 1 or 2.
But there's so many 4-of-a-kind levels, it may just be better to...
Drew the extra jack. I think that should be game.
I don't know, it's always the flush 5. They're not that far apart. Yeah, I think that's got to be game, right? This is just the hand. Well, you got to glass the red seal first, but...
I guess you do play 4-of-a-kind because the bloodstone hitting is equal to just having the steel, and the 4-of-a-kind's the same level.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, you're exactly right.
Didn't realize, like, I knew there's quite a few 4-of-a-kind levels. Did not realize it was that high up.
How did we just get 400,000 from that hand? I guess the Baron.
Baron, yeah. Baron.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, and Bear knows. Not surprising.
Yeah, an extra king in there for just another 1.5, and
yeah,
we don't have to sit here for another 10 minutes.
Whew.
I think.
Yeah. Well, you say that.
Bloodstone 0 for 12.
I don't think Bloodstone even.
I don't think it needs to hit at all.
And is so good. I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the Sizaak hand is so bad. I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
The roles reversed this time, and Sizaak didn't quite hit the hand. Whew, what a match.
What a game.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is
What a day one.
my hand. A little bit more worried this one could be the last.
All right, I'll play when you play.
Okay, I'm playing it. It's going. This is definitely not as good as my last one. I think that's like right around what you had last time, isn't it?
Okay, and here comes the bad news for Sizaak.
It is,
Yeah.
Ah.
Oof.
What the frick? The frickin' Perishable Baron? I saw the Bloodstone. Wow, our lineup was actually fairly similar.
Well, good
Yeah,
games
see
to
there.
both.
I was hoping for a frickin'
Yeah,
photo.
very
but
well
you were
played.
too.
Great
so
series. I wish I had the energy to enjoy it more. But it's been a long day for me. I can't imagine how long it's been for you. You're doing a subathon right now.
It's
Uh,
we're going on the hour 13, baby. But I am signing off for now. We're pausing it. We're coming back tomorrow because I got to play. I think at 8 a.m. tomorrow or something like that.